Tonight's episode is one that I've been looking forward to for many months. This is another local Crawford County legend that is now in Nashville, Tennessee, one of the country's biggest country music songwriters. And I just happen to know this kid from growing up, going to basketball camps with him. And he was a heck of a good basketball player, but I think he's an even better guitar player and songwriter. So without further ado, Mr. Luke Laird. My boys were like, hey, who's on your podcast tonight? Like, they're pretty into like my guests and stuff. By far and away, you're the number one most famous one thus far. And they're like, is he famous? Is he going to be? They always ask Hall of Fame questions too.
Oh,
like,
that's funny.
For athletes, but they're like, is he going to be I'm like, he's definitely going to be like country music Hall of Fame if he isn't.
That's funny. I tell people in Nashville all the time, because I'm always like looking for good wings, and you would think like in a city, but I'm like, I'm not saying Northwestern Pennsylvania is known for a lot of probably a lot of anything, but like food. I mean, I hate to say that, you know what I mean? It's pretty rural, but I was like,
Tool and Die and chicken
wings. For whatever reason, yeah, Tool and Die. For whatever reason, they crush it with wings, and I'm like, there's so many places, and that's just not like that.
If here. You can give me your top 5 songs, your top 5 favorite songs that you've ever written that kind of were in that people may know category.
Okay,
you don't have to be in a particular order, but let's do top 5.
I would say probably American Kids that Kenny Chesney recorded. A lot of my favorites is I've written with Eric Church, who I've known for a long time. So a few of his that I would have. There's a song called "Give Me Back My Hometown." Actually, he's probably got 3 of them. So "Give Me Back My Hometown," "Drink in My Hand," and "Talladega." And then I'm trying to think. It's so hard to, one of the ones, I'm not saying it's my favorite, but like that means like the most, because it was my first hit I ever had, was a song with Carrie Underwood called "So Small." And I'm forever grateful to Carrie, because she wrote with me when, she could have written with anyone. And she was coming off a huge album that sold like 7 million, and I had no hits, and she still wrote with me. Until you have a hit, like it's just so stressful, but it's still fun. I'm like, well, I'm getting paid to write songs. Not a lot, but so I wrote with this girl one day.
How long ago is this? Can you paint the picture?
This has got to be, oh gosh,
early 2000s,
between 15 and 20 years ago, something like that. And at the time I was getting set up with a lot of young female artists, which I think they're like, well, he's a young guy, like I think they could write together. And I wrote with some that were really talented, some that I was kind of like, I don't know if it's going to happen. So you write a song, and then you're just kind of waiting to see if anything happens. And a lot of them had record deals, but they were brand new, so they hadn't really had any hits or anything. So I write with this girl one day, and her mom had actually brought her to the publishing company where we wrote, and like waited for her. She was like 15. And I get a call the next morning from my publisher who had booked that. She said, hey, that girl you wrote with yesterday, her mom called back and was, they wanted to see if you would get some more, they could do some more days. And I was like, I go, honestly, I'd rather not. Like it was fine. It wasn't great. Well, that ended up being Taylor Swift.
Holy crap.
And I've got so many stories, but I always when I tell people that, it's funny when I say it, because I'm like, it's not like I had a lot going on. Pontoon, making waves and catching rays up on the roof. Jumping off the back, don't act like you don't want to. Party in slow motion, just out here in the open. Motorboating.
Dude, this is awesome.
Tell me all about it, Doc.